What up, YouTube? It's your boy Big Cool coming to you from Colossal Boxing Talk, and I'm here to discuss the heavyweight division, which was turned upside down this past weekend when Tyson Fury defeated longtime reigning heavyweight champion Vladimir Klitschko via unanimous decision. The fight wasn't too crowd pleasing. It wasn't a pleasure to watch, but Tyson Fury got the job done. Um, you know, he used his height, his reach to get the job done. He was the more active fighter. Vladimir Klitschko seemed like a shot guy. He's 39 years old. He'll be 40 soon. So that's what it was. He did you know exercise an immediate rematch. So we will be getting that fight sometime first quarter of 2016. But this video is going to be about how wide open the heavyweight division is, because whether or not Fury retains his title or Vladimir Klitschko reclaims his title, a lot of heavyweight fighters have to be, you know, more confident, in their chances against, Vladimir Klitschko, whether they faced him or not before. He's up there in age, obviously. He seemed to have problems pulling the trigger. And when you got guys like Tyson Fury, I mean, not Tyson Fury, guys like Anthony Joshua, Deontay Wilder, Luis Ortiz, Brian Jennings, David Haye, I mean, Joseph Parker, these guys that's coming up or on the cups, Alexander Povetkin, these guys that's on the cups of, a title shot, a rematch, or the big opportunity that they're looking for, you have to say that their chances go up dramatically. Father Time is undefeated. You might think that you could do it just because you're having success like later on in your career, but eventually it comes to get you, and that's what it seems to have done with Vladimir Klitschko. You look at a guy like Deontay Wilder. He's 6'6", I believe 6'7", athletic, long, nice jab, very good power in his right hand. Although he's sporadic in his performances and his consistency, he's technically flawed, overzealous in the ring. He doesn't have a problem letting his hands go. And like I said, he has a very good jab. And if he was in the ring with Vladimir Klitschko, he probably would have stopped him. And that's not saying because he's the better fighter than Wilder. I mean, better fighter than Klitschko. It's just because Klitschko looked old, and we know that Wilder's young and spry, and he's athletic, and he can pull that trigger. Same with Anthony Joshua. Anthony Joshua is being touted as the next big thing, and rightfully so. He's fundamentally sound. He's fast. He's athletic. He can punch. I mean, he can box. I mean, he's well conditioned, and he's taking his craft very seriously. And he's constantly getting better and better. He has a big fight coming up in a little bit over a week against Dylan White, another guy who could, catapult his name up there if he pulls off the upset and defeats Anthony Joshua. It remains to be seen how good Anthony Joshua's chin is, but I know he's fought a lot of quality guys to be so young in his career. He's a 2012 Olympic gold medalist from London. And like I said, he's very talented, and he's the guy to keep an eye on, excuse me, as the guy that could be potentially the next reigning heavyweight champion. I also put Wilder up there because, like I said, his athletic ability, he's better than what people think, whether they want to admit it or not. I believe that he just underperforms against, his depending on who he fights. You see, when he fought Stavern, he performed up to level because he knew what it had to be, in terms of, his performance to be able to, win that title. You have a guy like Alexander Povetkin who is a mandatory to, Deontay Wilder. We don't know if they're going to fight. I know Wilder has a fight January 16th, voluntary defense, in Brooklyn, New York, that will take place on Showtime. And I forgot the name. The guy he's most likely going to fight. But I mean, Povetkin is a threat to anybody, more so to Vladimir Klitschko now than ever. Povetkin is a 2004 gold medalist. He can punch, he can box, he's experienced, and he's a supremely talented fighter. And he has to be licking his chops at either getting his fight with Deontay Wilder or the winner of Fury, Klitschko 2. I mean, like I said, he's definitely up there to take that reign as well. And then you have Brian Jennings, who will be facing a fellow heavyweight contender, Luis Ortiz, December 19th. Brian Jennings had his chance and opportunity against Vladimir Klitschko, came up short. Although he did have some success, it just wasn't enough. And you have to think that he's kicking himself now because if he would have did more, let his hands go more, maybe, you know, Tyson Fury, obviously Tyson Fury wouldn't even be the heavyweight champion because, Brian Jennings, would have defeated Vladimir Klitschko. But Vladimir Klitschko still had a lot left, or a lot more left in the tank when he fought Jennings than he did when he fought Fury. But Jennings, like I said, had success, showed a sturdy chin, was in Klitschko's face all night, and just came up short. But he has to be rejuvenated with his chances. Like, you know what, Klitschko is shown to be just a guy like I am. Because when you had these long reigns of success, you kind of get immortalized until somebody comes along to show that you know, hey, the impossible is possible. So I know Brian Jennings, was already a confident guy, but his confidence even went up higher. And you have David Haye who's returning. He fought Vladimir Klitschko, and I know he's away from being considered, for a legitimate contender again because he's coming off of a long layoff due to injuries and whatnot. But we all know he possesses speed and power, athletic ability, and he's a solid fighter. I mean, his chin is always going to be in question. You know what I mean? He doesn't have the best chin, but he doesn't have the worst. So we'll see how his return, goes. And back to Luis Ortiz, who I've almost forgot about. Luis Ortiz is a 6'3", 6'4" Cuban heavyweight contender who returned on the undercard of I think it was the GGG uh, Lemieux pay per view where he defeated some journeyman heavyweight. He showed he has fast hands, can counterbox, can counter punch. Excuse me, can box. He's a southpaw. Like I said, he's 6'4". He has the Cuban background. He can punch. Seen he could take a good shot. And his fight with Brian Jennings is going to be very interesting and exciting. I can't wait for it. I think that has the making to be a fight of the year. And the heavyweight division needs that. You have Joseph Parker, who is a guy from Australia. He's raw, but he's developing nicely. He's a solid puncher. He's a little on the smaller side of the heavyweights. I think he's 6'2", 6'3". Don't quote me on that, but like I said, I've seen a few of his fights. He's talented, but he's still a ways away from being ready for these guys. But if he keeps making the proper progress and getting better with each fight, in the next year or two, you can really mention his name as a guy that can be strongly considered to be a threat to whoever it may be, whether it's Wilder, Fury, Joshua, Klitschko, if he still, if he can reclaim his title and still be there, Jennings, whoever it may be. But those are just a list of guys I believe that, can and will have their moment and have their shots, first shot, second shot, third shots for some of those guys. And I just believe that the heavyweight division is wide open. And we needed it. Not to say that I wanted Vladimir Klitschko to lose, but, Fury kind of gave every fighter in the heavyweight division confidence, saying, because he's a flawed champion, and I'm not discrediting him, but that's just a fact. Every fighter is flawed, but he's definitely flawed, and people want to fight him, and now even though he's the champion, people still gonna have to fight each other. You're not gonna just sit around and wait on a big opportunity. Although you look at him as more likely to be defeated easily than Vladimir Klitschko was. Still, though, all these fights are going to have to happen. Maybe have an unofficial tournament. And it's, like I said, there's a lot of guys out there that can stake their claim to being, that guy that should be tabbed as the, the next great American, or not American, the next great heavyweight champion. But like I said, that's my thoughts on the heavyweight division, and those are the guys to look out for. The ball is in their court now. Make these fights and see who the best man is. Like this video, thumbs it up. Leave your comments in the comment section below. If I missed any heavyweight, drop their name in the comment section. If you don't agree with what I'm saying, let me know. Subscribe to this channel. Head over to Facebook, like our Facebook page, Colossal Boxing Talk. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Colossal CBT. Favorite this channel, share this channel, tell a friend about Colossal Boxing Talk. Until next time, I'm out. Peace.